Hey everybody, how's it going? So to compare Taylor and Rowling's articles, I think both of these articles are very similar because each one kind of takes a group and shows the hardships that they've had to deal with. For example, for Taylor's article, I think she kind of was just talking about all women in general. She said that because of marriage, um, that women kind of just stopped existing in marriage. So I have notes right here. When they were married, they became an object to their husband. Men had all the power, and women' power was determined by their husbands. Um, Another problem or some issues were that people weren't really educated, and Taylor, from how I took it, she said that people should have, try to become educated so that way they don't think about getting married or they don't have a reason to get married because they're trying to get their education. Marriage really wasn't designed for women. I think it was more designed for men, and it kind of took on the role for women to be caretakers instead of providers. Um, Another issue that she wanted to do, or the issue that she talked about, was the inequality that came with marriage, and she wanted to make marriage equal. She talked about that, and she wanted women to have a chance to do something with their lives. And then for Ruling's article, she talked about the group of women who identified as homosexual. Um, she said that a lot of people had negative attitudes towards women that were homosexual, and they had negative attitudes towards homosexual women getting married. Um, you know, a lot of some of the article talked about how marriage was harmful towards women because they were being forced into it. They were being forced to marry for money, for social, uh, for social status instead of for love, and that was a big issue with it. And then some people even looked at where the women's movement made homosexual marriage between women a triple crime, and triple crime was defined as a crime against the state, against society, and against the next generation. And that to me seems a little extreme. Problems need to be fixed. Heterosexual women were, I think, at the main cause of kind of like the inequality that the homosexual woman felt. A lot of problems that need to be fixed, and just again going back to how some of the women that were homosexual were forced to marry for social status and for money instead of for love. And then about the fashion, women's fashion, it really hurt a lot of them because they were having to wear crinoline dresses. They were working in hot places, hot factories. They didn't have a lot of breaks, and women started fainting and dying. Um, they had to work in the dresses, and then like even here in the U.S., the U.S. dress reform was adopted from Paris fashions, and I think that this definitely helps women in today's world because they're not they're they're working in more free or loose clothing. So I think that, yeah, it definitely helps women. Thank you. Have a good one.